This message is just for you. You are good enough. This is the episode for you. One of the most common pieces of advice that people give you when you're struggling with mental resistance is to imagine how you'll feel when you've done the thing you're avoiding. Imagine how proud you'll feel, how relieved, and what reward you're going to give yourself. Imagine being able to watch that film that you've been promising yourself with the weight off your mind. And so many of us are only holding up half of that bargain, so I wanted to make a video about it today. Because it sounds so good. It sounds like the perfect incentive. So why are so many of us finding that it's not working for us? Well, in my case, I know exactly what the problem was. And that is, I would use the reward to motivate myself to do the work. The whole time I was doing the work, I would picture myself finishing it, picture how relieved I'd be, picture myself enjoying doing whatever it was that I'd promised. But then, once it got to the evening and I'd done the thing, I'd often be too tired or too drained to start the film or do the creative thing, the social thing, and I'd spend the time just doing mindless things instead. Maybe I'd notice the house wasn't clean and I'd spend the evening doing chores. Or I'd be so worried about being behind or wondering why I wasn't further ahead yet that I'd go straight on to either ruminating, just having a quick existential crisis, or worrying about the next thing. And the reward that I'd promised myself was long forgotten. And every time I did that, I was showing myself that I couldn't trust myself. We have so much talk in the self-care productivity world about showing ourselves that we trust ourselves with the things that we've committed to do, but so little of it goes on showing that we trust ourselves to show up with the rewards afterwards. And for that visualization exercise to ever stand a chance of working for us, we have to be able to trust ourselves the whole day that it's true. We need to be able to reassure ourselves while we're doing the hard thing that the space on the other side will be really nice. And every time we don't hold up our end of the bargain, we're setting up that pushback for next time. So when we are in the middle of it and we are struggling and we say, come on, let's imagine how great we're going to feel afterwards. Imagine the fun thing. Your brain knows you're not telling it the truth. Your brain is going to reply. It's going to send back the visualization that actually you're going to be stressed, you're going to be tired, you're going to be grumpy, maybe you'll be picking faults with what you did or moving the goalpost or doing whatever else than what you promised. And I know it sounds obvious, but incentivizing yourself only works when you can actually allow yourself to do those fun things when you're done. And that brings us to the second issue, which is that only happens when we set rewards that genuinely fit us in the first place. And that's harder than it looks at first glance because we have to be really intentional about it. Really aware of who we are and how we are today in our own house, in our own home life, and in our whole life. So let's imagine that there are 7 kinds of rewards that we can give to ourselves. Food rewards, so if you do this hard thing, you can have an ice cream. Money rewards, if you do this thing, I'll buy you a book, a game, some new clothes, whatever. Media rewards, if you do this, you can listen to music, you can watch a film, you can start this series. Social rewards, if you do this, you can go to that party, you can meet your friends, you can call your, best friend. Experience rewards. If you do this, you can take yourself on this really fun outing to a place you want to go. Relaxation rewards. If you do this, you can have a wonderful bubble bath with candles, you can go to a spa, you can sit and have coffee in peace. And finally, interest rewards. If you do this, you have full permission to indulge in this thing you're most interested in. You can go down the rabbit holes, whatever it is. But actually, getting those rewards is a bit of a compromise. You have to think about it. So to give you an example, for some of us, the promise of being able to buy a new book, a new game, whatever it is, might be a great motivator. We know that about ourselves. We know that with the promise of that new thing, we'll get things done. But the trouble with any kind of money reward is that your ability to reward yourself fluctuates with your life circumstances. And you might find that you use the money reward to do the thing, you do the thing, and then the voice kicks in that says, actually, is this a good use of my money right now? And then you don't do it. So you have to be aware of that. And it's the same with energy, social battery rewards. I know that I love painting and creative things. It makes me really genuinely happy. It's a great reward for me. But I also know that while it sounds like a great reward to me at the beginning of the day, and it's a great motivator, the reality is that I get to the end of the day and I don't have the battery that I had at the start. I'm more likely to struggle to start a creative project, more vulnerable to getting pulled into perfectionism with it. So now it's never an end of the day reward. It's a weekend reward. Same goes for social battery. So when you're setting your rewards, work out where and why you're most likely to take your own rewards away, and then set rewards that you know that you'll be able to hold yourself to. We have to be honest with ourselves, language learners. What do you do when you've done what you set out to do? Do you celebrate your win? Let yourself have those rewards. Celebrate what you've done and give yourself that moment to enjoy feeling relieved, feeling jubilant, because that's what you've earned and it's what you've promised yourself. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you back here tomorrow.